Hey rockers, welcome back to the channel, man. I was sitting around tonight thinking, since this video series is like my book that I'm not going to write, I got some stuff I want to include that would have been a really small chapter in the book. But hey, here we go, man. Back to the year 1981. I was 15, man, living in Peoria, Illinois. And I would go to the fair every year because it was very close. I could walk there. The Heart of Illinois Fair in Peoria had top-notch entertainment and sometimes entertainment that was kind of weak. But I used to go climb the fence and go to all the shows, no matter pretty much who it was. And in 1981, I decided to go check out a model who was on my bedroom wall. Yep, I'm talking about SUSAN Anton. You guys remember that bikini photo she was famous for? Model SUSAN Anton. She was an actress and a singer as well. But that poster was on the wall of almost every teenage boy that I knew. Just Google SUSAN Anton famous red bikini poster. You'll find it, man. But SUSAN Anton was an American actress and singer and model. Her debut film, Golden Girl, earned her a Golden Globe nomination, which led to a contract for her own variety show, which was on back in the day, if you guys remember, if you're my age. It was a show called Presenting SUSAN Anton. She would have different guests on and whatnot. She would sing. She was later in Cliffhangers and also a lot of Broadway credits. She did have a top 10 hit with Kenny Rogers called Killing Time in 1976. She also developed a following after doing a series of commercials for Muriel Cigars. And all the kids and guys were kind of perving out over her, man, because back in the day, girls like Farrah Fawcett and SUSAN Anton and Cheryl Tiegs and Patty Hansen, they were all girls that would get like kind of in bikinis, and we'd all have them on our walls. I remember because all my friends had them, including me, man. But she got lots of TV exposure as well. But that red bikini poster back in the day when I was like 10, that was something else, man. Yeah, I liked having those girls on my wall. And then I decided to go see her performing at the fair, right? SUSAN Anton, I thought, why not? So I marched my ass to the fair, and I have my little autograph book with me because I had met the Spinners, and I'd been meeting a lot of acts, seeing a lot of cool bands like Leo Sayer, Jay Ferguson, just a lot of trippy 70s acts that would play at the fair. And I would get autographs in this little book that was like bright yellow, and it had little pads of paper, and you could get autographs in there. Well, I'm over there watching SUSAN Anton. It's a pretty packed crowd because in the Midwest, people are, they love their entertainment. So I'm about maybe third row from the center of the stage. It's an outside show at the grandstand at the fair. Once you pay to get in the fair back then, it included their entertainment, right? So once I jumped the fence, it didn't matter because I was going to get in free either way. But I did. I sat there and was watching SUSAN Anton. It was okay, kind of boring, but I was there just to hang out and see free music. All of a sudden, man, I'm sitting in the audience and a guy comes walking out from the long end of the, like around the stage area, backstage, comes walking out, looking around, and he's wearing like what appears to be like a white tuxedo. This guy stood out because he wasn't looking like anybody in the Midwest with like flannel shirts and jeans or t-shirts. Everybody's looking over at this guy who was kind of short. And like I say, dressed in like tails, like a pianist. Turns out he is a pianist. He's a classical composer, a musician, actor, comedian. And I'm talking about Dudley Moore. Yeah, remember him from the movie 10? Well, that guy did a lot of movies back in the 70s and the 80s, like Foul Play, and the movie Arthur, where he played a drunken millionaire. Dudley Moore was very popular. He had an early comedy history. Like he played organ, piano, violin. He was a jazz and classical musician, basically. He did the Derek and Clive albums. He was a British guy, very short in stature, literally short guy. He was awarded from Queen Elizabeth II a CBE, which is a Commander of the British Empire Award. But he got together with SUSAN Anton in the early 80s, and they became like a tabloid sensation. Famous model is dating, comedian, musician, and actor Dudley Moore. It was like a big deal back then. And I couldn't believe it when he walked out. And not only did he come sitting out in the crowd, but he walked through, went down the third aisle, walked all the way over and sat down directly next to yours truly, like the seat next to mine. And I was tripping because I knew exactly who Dudley Moore was. The guy was super popular. I mean, Who didn't see the movie 10 with Bo Derek back in the day? Or Arthur, just good stuff. Or Mickey and Maude, another movie that he was in, man. But these guys were having an affair, which I didn't know at the time. I wasn't looking at tabloids. And he was sitting there, and I just couldn't stand it, man. So after a couple songs, I tapped him on the shoulder, and I said, "Hey, Dudley, how you doing, man?" He goes, "Hey, good to meet you, mate." He was very friendly. He was totally by himself, and he was dressed to the nines in all white, like real shiny white shoes, white pants, and he had big tails, like I said, on the back of his shirt, jacket, whatever. And he was obviously having a good time, smiling away, watching his girlfriend, Susan Anton, perform. He was in love with her. You know, they had a thing going. And finally, I tapped him on the shoulder again, and I said, "Hey, Dudley, would you autograph this for me?" And he looked like he was kind of shocked that I had an autograph pad with me. But he did. He signed his name, Dudley Moore. And I had that autograph all my life until 2020, when the stupid Alameda fires ripped through Northern California and here in Southern Oregon. And I lost like 95% of everything I ever owned. But I always kept that Dudley Moore autograph, remembering that fun day in the summer of 1981. And sad to say that Dudley Moore developed a disease that was sort of like Parkinson's. It was like a Parkinson's plus syndrome. He developed slurred speech. He lost his balance. It appeared like he was intoxicated. And I think he did have issues with drinking, but people thought, "Oh, this guy's always drunk." But he wasn't. He was suffering, and he was going down quick, and his physical, body started deteriorating, and he ended up dying of pneumonia in the year 2002. But I'll never forget seeing that hot chick that I had on my wall in her red bikini up on stage wearing tight jeans and a tight shirt, singing tight rock and roll songs. And of course, Dudley Moore sitting there smiling away, man, like, "That's mine." Yeah, it was cool, man. What are the odds you're going to be in Peoria, Illinois, and you're going to meet like a world-class actor like that? And to have him come and sit down right next to me was a trip. It's like the whole row was taken up, and he wanted to sit right in the middle. You could tell he wanted to be right in the middle because that's where I was, and there just happened to be one seat open, and that's where he sat, right next to yours truly, Mr. Bloody F. Mess. Hey, man, just a quick short tale for you. I don't know, something from the vaults of my cobwebbed, infested mind. Got more coming at you, but this has been a curveball tale tonight. Just something to, share with you guys. Hope you're having a great upcoming weekend. Tomorrow is Friday, actually right now is Friday. Yeah, it's like 2 in the morning here, 2:30. Coming back at you soon, man, with some more rock and roll tales, maybe some punk or metal. But yeah, I appreciate you being here. Please subscribe to the channel. Give it a like if you want. Leave a comment if you want. And keep it real, my friends. Rock and roll. Cheers.